Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Dennis. We're going to do a review today and an unboxing and install the whole gambit of Be Quiet's PureRock Pro 3. Alright, CPU cooler. We're going to use that on a motherboard that I bought for a build. We're going to do the install, show you how everything goes together after we've done the unboxing. So let's get started. Here we go. Okay, so this is the motherboard that we're going to be installing it onto the MAG B550 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi. And here's the product itself. All right, 250 watt TDP and PureRock Pro 3. We'll get it out and have a look at it just to go over everything. It's got some information on the side here. You can look at that. We'll go over that a little bit later. And yeah, just give you a quick look at the box and let's get her open. So, we'll just do this. And when we get it open, the first thing we see is a little thing about their fan, their setup. All right, so installation, and you can use it for Intel, LGA 1851, 1700, 1200, 1150, 1151, 1155, and of course, you can use it for AMD as well. But they're just going to give you all the instructions, all the different parts that you can go over. We'll do all of that. And this is just your safety instructions, all that kind of good stuff. All your stuff that you're going to need, your back plates, your screws, your standoffs, all that is right here. And I like the type of packaging, the styrofoam that protects it. One of the better ones. And now we can have a good look on the inside. So let's get this out. Nicely boxed. Get this off. It is a beefy looking air cooler. What do you think of that? And that is just the thing on the bottom. Don't worry about that. That's all good. A little plastic tray covering to protect this. And if you can see that white, that's the thermal paste already pre-applied. All right, kind of a nice step. Saves you a little bit of trouble. All right, that was what was making the noise. All right, we have two fans. Everything is on here. This is how it latches in for the fans. Easy to take on and off. And our cable, which is right here, tucked nicely inside. All right, just a 3-pin for the fan and CPU. All right, you have two different ones, CPU and fan. All right, this is going to be pretty straightforward to install. Nothing too difficult about it. So let's start. Let's pick out our parts. Let's see what we need from this to get it all going and install it onto our motherboard. So one of the very interesting things that I always find that they do that I love is, other than the manual, you have your heat sinks, you have all your, like your CPU fans and all that kind of good stuff. But when you're installing it, they always separate them. So you've got this marked AMD on it and Intel. So if you're doing an AMD or an Intel build, you automatically know what you need and what you don't need. So you can take the Intel, move it aside, keep that for another time if you decide to change your build up, and you're good to go. So let's start with getting our pieces out, but first we have to get our motherboard going and show you how that all is going to go on. So one of the things I want to point out right away is you have nickel plated 6mm heat pipes. Okay, so it matches the color of the heat sink. The heat pipes are the key, of course, to the cooling performance, so they can transport the heat to optimal locations on the cooling fins. And the fans are PureWings 3, 120mm PWM, and PureRock Pro 3 are perfect match. All right. Fan features optimized fan blades for highest performance. Angles are adjusted to achieve even more air pressure, adding to the extraordinary performance. So the thing I wanted to mention as well is dimensions, because you're going to want to know that to see if it's going to fit in your case. All right, so the dimensions of the fan, like I said, length, width, and height. All right, so 139 by 124 by 155 in millimeters. The total weight is 1,077 grams. Socket compatibility, I mentioned the Intel earlier, but AMD is also AM5 and AM4, so both of them. So that takes you back quite a ways there. 250 watt maximum power capacity. Noise level is 14 to 34.8, depending on how you ramped it up. So 50, 75, and 100% RPM. The heat pipes are 6, as I mentioned. Your fan dimensions are 120, like I mentioned, by 120 by 25. Speed at 2000 RPM, right? 12 volt. Safety current A, so 0.3 amps. Airflow is 59.6, and air pressure is 2.41. And connector, of course, is 4-pin PWM. Lifespan is approximately 80,000 hours. Comes with thermal grease pre-applied, as I just showed you a minute ago. And yeah, everything you need is in the box, of course, and you shouldn't need anything else. And very simple installation. Of course, this company has been making products for a long time. I've done a lot of their products. This is the first air cooler I've done, actually. And nice change from a water cooler, and it's going to work just as effectively. And because it's designed for an AM5 as well, you're not going to have any issues with what it will or won't work with. So something that is kind of interesting, you have a couple extra brackets for your fans, but for your spacers, just in case anybody is going to be confused, it actually has a little arrow on it. All right, see that arrow? To tell you what direction you need to have them at. Now, I don't know if we could have got that confused. They're pretty generic, and the holes are different sizes. Sorry about the focus there. So you can usually figure it out, but you know what? Just to make things faster, so there's more clarity, you've got that so you know what you're doing, what you're working with. Okay, so before we can mount our cooler, the first thing you have to do is find our 2 brackets. All right, loosen them up, take it out. And do the same with the other one. I loosened them off already a little bit, just to show you that comes off. This comes out. This here is from your back plate. All right, and then you're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, so take the last one off. Now you can see your back plate. It's staying in place right now because I got it on the cardboard box, which is great for us because now we're going to take our little package from AMD. We're going to get our little brackets and our screws that are included, and we're going to put it on there. And I'll show you exactly how that's done here in 1 second. And of course, I have not put in the CPU yet. I will do that momentarily. You can do that first. In fact, usually I do, but this time I just wanted to do it a little different. So take your bracket, put it on the inside with your little tab pointing toward the middle. All right, put that down here onto your spacer. All right, it's going to go down, and you're going to tighten it onto the bracket, or the back plate rather, that was already there from before. This is where I'm going to put my CPU in, because if I put them both in, it's going to be kind of hard to position it. So again, like I say, normally I put the CPU in first. So just to show you how that's done, I'm going to go get my CPU and we're going to put it in. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. So it's a 5800X 3D. So of course, be careful. You do have pins. You don't want to damage those. So first thing you do is lift up your little lever. Okay, make sure it's all the way up. Carefully line it up. You have a triangle down on the bottom left corner. So that's going to go down to where this little white is here, indicating where your corner is at. And just carefully put it in there. And when you've got it right, it will just drop in. So let's make sure we do that right. There. See how that just, you can almost hear it going down. And then pull the pin down past this little tab. All right? So pull it down. Don't worry about if there's a little tension. Goes underneath here. You're ready. And again, don't forget they have that little up arrow. Okay, it shows you how to put them on there, or the right direction, I should say. Get your screw and your bracket, and we're gonna put it on. So I don't know if you can see it, but now you can see it from here. So they put the fan in here, they just gotta put it in. So you're gonna be able to just pull that out. Just be careful. I mean, you're really not gonna probably damage it, but just take it out. Okay, pay attention to the way they had it in there. So you have your fan facing this direction, all right, toward the back. All right, make sure you take this out. Obviously, you're not going to use that on your CPU cooler. And then we will look on the inside. You can see our bracket is already in place. And this is the part that you're going to screw on to the bottom. Right, you've got two here that are going to screw on to hold it onto your plate. So the two parts that are sticking up from your motherboard are going to fit on top of there, and then you're going to use your screws and tighten it down. All right, and those are the screws here that I'm talking about. All right, you have one on both sides. Spring, they're on springs, so as they go down, you'll feel the tension. All right, that's pretty much all there is to that, really, to be honest. So again, don't forget as well, this is protected over your thermal paste, all right? So don't forget when you put it on, this obviously has to come off, all right? Make sure of that. Now, if you're doing like I'm doing and you have a motherboard with an older CPU, clean that off. Take some alcohol, 99% alcohol or whatever you've got that will work, that's recommended, all right? Isopropyl alcohol, and clean off your CPU. All right, so that's important in order to get the best. The cleaner it is, the better it's going to perform. Let's put it that way. And your brackets for your fans going like this. We've got a couple more that they included that'll go on this fan here. And yeah, it's going to fit on there really nice. I don't think there's anything else on here I can see. So I'm going to put that on there before I clean everything off, just to see how it all is going to fit on place, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, so this is the alcohol, okay? You can find it in medical supplies. It's alcohol, isopropanol, 99%. Actually, I'll show you the English side. All right, rubbing alcohol, 99%. Topical antiseptic cleanser liquid. Okay, you can get them in different size bottles and different strengths, but I recommend this one simply because it's more powerful. 90, I think you can get even the 75% will work just fine. So I've cleaned this off. Now we're on to the next step. So let's get that and get it started. So again, CPU cooler, take off our plate. It's time for it to come off. All right, do not forget, or you're going to have some issues. Okay, fix this. This is going to be the back of your motherboard. And of course, that's where your fan wants to blow toward. So line it up with these over the spokes. So I will show you that as quickly as I can. Afterward, I am simply lining them up. So initially I thought they were showing in the diagram, and I looked at it wrong. These screws here. It's these ones. If you use these ones on both sides, it's not far enough apart to match the CPU cooler. So I took them out, moved them to the back spots, and now it'll fit. All right, just something to be aware of. Again, not a big deal. You put it in as long as you're haven't done anything yet. That's why we do what I call a dry fit. Setting it down, seeing where it's placed, and then we'll know. Now, if you've got thermal paste on there, it's going to cause a mess. So that's why you just kind of set it on place first, check the distances, make sure it's going to fit in there right, and then you're good to go. So now that we've got that done, we're going to place our CPU cooler, and we're going to line up these screws. Okay, we're going to line up that screw on each side over top of these down here. All right, that one and this one. I'm going to show you that as best I can. I'm going to actually change the camera angle a little bit so I can better show that to you. It's on both sides. So that's it. So now I have to tighten those down. And if I did it right, everything will be good. So hopefully my screwdriver is going to fit in there. It does. Do a little bit on each side. Okay, so just go a little bit each way. Sometimes when you tighten one down, the other one loosens up. So don't worry about that. Just play at it until you get it right. And you'll know because it will lock on. Okay, so everything is on there. Okay, I can lift it up if I need to. It's on there very securely. Don't forget, you still have your other fan to put on. And you're going to want it facing this way. So the way it was in there from before. And of course you want to make sure that these kind of go on that way, because your connections are going to be on this side. All right, and it's going to blow this way toward the back of your motherboard, and that's going to be it. So just a matter of getting our little bracket. You see they've included 2 of them, and you're going to need them. All right, so just put them on like that, and when you go to flip them back, they'll just kind of move, and then you'll be able to lock them in place. All right, again with this here. All right, you have to play with it a little bit till you get it the right way. If I got it the wrong way, I'll move it around. All right, but you can see, based off of this, that's exactly the way it's going to go on. All right, see, these are here, like so, with this going into this little groove. All right, with these 2 pieces here, and this kind of sticks out a little bit. It's a little different, but it's pretty much the way everybody does it. So get your other bracket, do the same thing on the other side. And then you'll be able to slide it down, put it in place, because you want to have it like it is before, because that helps you to slide it down on your slot. Okay, so I've got this one locked in place, the other one on the other side. You can adjust these if you have to raise this up or down. Now, one thing I will want to point out is this front one, you may or may not have to move up, because one thing I'm noticing is depending on the height of your RAM, whether it will fit in here or not. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to do, is just to show you that. I'm going to grab some RAM. We're going to put it in there and see how well it fits. Okay, so with the fan on, I could not get my RAM in slot number 2. So you may need to take the fan off initially to put your memory in, and then put your other ones in and you'll be good. Now when we put it back on, we'll know how much clearance we have to see if we have to raise it up or not. So let's try that right now. So let's line that up. Does it fit on top? I do believe it does. And this one here. All right, see that go in. Show you this one's in there too, just to show you. So again, this just tucks in, plops in behind here. And it's at the same height. I didn't have to raise anything up. So just show you that. All right, so everything is leveled off. Everything's perfect. No issues. It's going to blow at the back here. Perfect. If you want to have a rear exhaust in your case, you could have that there too. But as of right now, the only thing we have to do is connect our cables. So we'll show you on the back here where we connect our cables to. All right, so you have a connector here. So one of them is going to plug in here. Line those up. And the other one is going to go to where it says CPU. All right, so find where it's on here, which is CPU fan. Line this up, so it's going to be like this. Obviously, I'm going to have to take this off, but I can do it with it on for now. It doesn't really change anything too much. Okay, so line that up, pop her down, and you're good. That's all there is to it. Okay, see that? All right, so that. These two connected. Now obviously I got to clean that all up, but for now that's not going to matter too much. Okay, so let's look at the final product. Everything's here. We'll nice this up a little bit, tie it off, maybe use one of those twist ties again just to kind of tuck. Right now it's just tucked in here, and maybe I'll keep it that way, who knows. So now it's just a matter of powering it up, testing the temps and stuff like that, which we'll get to in a little bit. So installation is pretty easy. Just don't mix up those two screws. When I put the brackets on, I mistook, and it said put it on the far left, and the diagram actually does look that way, but that's not where it goes if you want to actually put it on there. In fact, they have two different diagrams. So yeah, I guess it depends on which one you're doing, and I was doing the wrong one. So anyway, just remember the right one and you're good to go as I showed you. So let's get to getting the rest of this done and get some temperatures for you. And some of the things I do want to mention is this will work for all your Intel or AMD latest CPUs. All right, everything that's out there at the moment as a 2025. So just be aware, they will power it just fine, and we'll keep it nice and cool. And we will verify that in a little while. Okay, so everything is together. I rebuilt my system, but you know what? It's like sometimes they say you can do everything right and then still things go wrong. And I'm going to show you what that thing is. So we're going to boot it up, or at least we're going to attempt to boot it up. Everything turns on, and immediately we get no boot. And you can probably see on the motherboard, well, at least it was, flashing that the CPU had an issue. I'm still waiting for that to happen, but that light seems to have gone out right now. So maybe it was temporary, maybe it wasn't, but pretty sure it's just not going to work. So the system is not booting up, and occasionally you'll see a little red flash in the bottom here, indicating there's something wrong with the CPU. Sometimes that just happens. It's pretty rare, and it could be as simple as the motherboard, the BIOS needs to be updated. It could be the memory. There's so many things. So in the next video, because obviously I can't show you temps if I can't get the system to boot up, and there it is, it's all lit up now, saying that it is a CPU. I'm going to swap the CPUs, all that kind of good stuff. I will film it all so that you can see the process and eventually get you temperatures for this. So for now, basically you had an unboxing and an install. Hope you like that, and at least you get to see the case all lit up, which I think I did once before. And yeah, you can change all these colors, of course, but yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, everybody, so there's the unboxing, there's the install. Fits in this case perfectly. Unfortunately, other issues can come up, like I just showed you. I had the 5800X 3D CPU, and I've had two of them, and that's the only CPUs I've ever had where I had issues. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that or not. If you have, put it in the comments and let me know. However, I do have another, mind you, lower end CPU, so I'll try that, see what happens. But either way, I'm going to film the whole process to show you steps I took to get it working again, and even up to and including CPU changes. So stay tuned for that in the next video. So if you, or not maybe the next video, but for another video. So if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you thought in the comments, good or bad. If you're new here, think about subscribing. Hit that thumbs up and hit that bell for notifications, and see what happens. And you know what? You're not going to believe this. It just booted up. Could it be I just waited too long? I've never seen this. But yet the CPU light is still on. So I'm going to show that to you right now. And there you go. And I've kind of run out of time for temperatures, but you can see CPU core temperature is 31C, motherboard temperature 26. Everything else is working fine, so I don't know if it's just, not sure what's going on, but I do still have the motherboard showing me that red light that you can see on the far right over there saying CPU. So something is not quite right. I don't know what that is, but again, I will endeavor to find out so that you can solve this problem should you be having the same issue. It is now no longer saying CPU, it is now saying boot drive. So that is a little bit easier of a problem to fix, but at least it's working. We can see the temperatures right now. I'm not going to stress test it because I don't have time. I've got to put the operating system on here, all that kind of good stuff, and hope that it does work. And this was a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D 8-core processor. The BIOS version is dated the 5th of September 2023, so obviously I'm going to have to update that. Hopefully when I do that, that will fix everything. So anyway, kind of a weird way of ending a video, but if you're still here, thanks for watching this far. Alright everybody, so weird things happen in this video that sometimes you just don't expect. So first it was CPU, maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough, then it went to boot drive, so I'm going to reboot. Hopefully it will pick up the OS from the USB stick. Do that. Before I do that though, the first thing I'm going to do is try and update the BIOS right away and then see what happens. Hopefully that will resolve everything. If it doesn't, then we'll move on to the other steps. So if this happens to you, maybe just wait a little bit longer than I did. Give it a little bit. I have seen that happens. So wait a little bit longer. Hopefully it will just come up and no real issues. Although the fact that that button is there saying boot drive could just be a fact that I have to do a couple more steps. So we will work toward that and resolve it, and everything should be good. So once again, thanks for watching. Yeah, this has been a weird one. I should almost post this on Halloween, like a ghost story or something. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.